What are we eating?
Shall I just get the usual?
Yes, please.
Dude, they don't even have it, dude.
Every time. Every freaking time, man.
Does nothing ever go the way we want it to?
Yeah, that's good. Good. That was good. So, for Ferrari fans, I think the race ended, or the weekend ended, Saturday morning. We don't remember anything after Saturday.
I mean, I was very happy that Lewis won. Lewis was on pole. And if you want to see our reactions, please click on the description. It's quite a contrast to what you would see right now.
Flashback.
Does he take it away from Lewis a second? Yes. And the two titans are at the front of the field. There's a 7-time world.
End of flashback.
I'm depressed.
Yeah, I'm wearing this because I'm hiding my tears. So
We are hungover not by anything that you would think. We're hungover by how much faith that we had in one team and how much they can basically take all of that faith, hope, dreams, inspirations, all of that, crush it into a ball and then put it in the dustbin far away.
okay, the thing is, it's not just that we didn't win the race, that's not why we are sad. It's because, and those of you who already watched the race know that it's because both the Ferraris got disqualified.
It's not even rubbing salt to the wounds. It's not even like pouring oil to fire. It's like it's unexplainable. Okay, it's like they're bad already. The strategy was bad. Charles had a front wing or what is it called, end plate broken by none other than Hamilton. But again, that was something that I think Charles could not control. I think it was too much. He had too much speed into the corner, and I don't think he could have turned. So okay, fine, still.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it's something that just happens sometimes, and it doesn't affect the race as much as you think it would, right? So you can't put. And in fact, he was faster than Hamilton, even with the broken wing.
I know. He's laughing right now. Not for reasons you think. But yeah. But also on the comment that you thought, right? Like even if it like end plate is broken, it does not affect the race. That is Liam Lawson. Has zero impact. P20 in sprint quali.
You know what would be great? I think if one of us got the Red Bull seat, I think because
even I would do a better. I don't know how to brake.
No, but I can do the exact same thing Lawson does, and I would be happy to take a pay cut.
Like a huge pay cut.
Yeah, a huge pay cut.
Yeah.
I would be happy. So
Please.
if Christian Horner and Helmut Marko, if you're watching this,
Call him.
you can call me.
Forget about all the things that we said about you. Just a couple
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, exactly. It was all me. Hired him. Anyway, I'll come. I'll be his manager. Another bad weekend for Liam Lawson.
Another bad weekend for Ferrari.
I mean, it was not a bad weekend. It was just
Bad race. Okay.
It's like it's like there's karma, right? So like there's good karma and bad karma and all of that. So Ferrari has this. If they give us something good, they have to give us something very equally or more bad.
To crush one's dream, you must first raise their hopes very high.
Right? So they gave us Hamilton pole, Hamilton win, and then we were like, okay, yes, we're seeing glimpses of hope. So excited. And then like not even like the day did not even end. But sorry, enough Ferrari bashing.
Yeah.
Tell
Okay,
me,
so let's
how the race?
recap the race. So Norris, as I predicted Norris to be P1, but unfortunately I was wrong. He was right. He predicted Piastri to be first, and he drove a wonderful race.
He was on top.
He was very consistent. He didn't make any mistakes.
I think
he managed his tires well, which most of the team struggled with.
Exactly, and then I think he was also at one certain point, like he was comfortable. Like see, at most of the time, so you have your teammate Norris who just won the previous race, okay, and he's coming hot on your lap, right? Because we saw the same thing that happened in the first race. Yeah, like even though it was a wet race, Piastri was still hot on Norris's lap, and that is pressure,
Yeah.
right? But Norris has been under pressure from Verstappen, Hamilton, all of the greats, okay? But Piastri, not the same one. But he was comfortable. I could see a maturity that I still think, that he has that potential to just outsmart Norris this year. But again, that's how I saw it. There's camaraderie in the McLaren camp, right? It's not exactly like, they were... I think even Norris was not very fuzzy about it.
Yeah, but I think Norris was... he was like, Oscar did a really good job.
Yeah.
And I just kept making mistakes the whole weekend. So I have to give props to him. So that's good. Norris and Piastri have a good relationship as of now. But let's see, as the season progresses, we may see a lot of... we may see some...
Sparks flying?
I don't know. Let's see.
That will be good.
It'll be good.
Something to basically keep us from, thinking about Ferrari. Okay, so that'll be good. Let's see. Let's hope for that. Hope for the best. But I know what? It's going to be a good championship. A good championship fight. It's not going to be one-sided. It's not going to be two-sided. We still have the... And apparently he's an underdog this year. Max Verstappen. Again.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if anyone's talking about that.
Yeah.
But I will.
Because he has to. He said, Max Verstappen, good on the wet, but not great.
Where are you, you little creep?
Okay, but yeah,
Scared, huh? You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses on, would you? Huh?
he is good on the wet still. But again,
Not that great, apparently.
not as great as the greats.
Sorry.
That's what my...
So now
thing
you
is.
have to
Okay, but...
eat your words and please praise
No.
Max
I
Verstappen.
will praise him. I'll praise him because right now I think he is the best driver on the grid. Right? I'll tell you why.
Piastri also a bit.
No, but I'll put forth my argument.
Yes.
I'm going to say Max right now, even though I'm not like a huge Red Bull fan, I'm not a huge Max Verstappen fan, but I do like him as a driver. He's an excellent precision driver.
Correct.
Max said the Racing Bull car is much easier to drive than the Red Bull that he is in. Right? So it's just that his driving style and his skill level is just on another level. He's able to put, I think that's like a Sauber at the best. I think that's how it is. That's why you see Lawson doing horribly bad.
Correct.
Like horribly.
Like extraordinarily bad.
Yeah, and it's not that he's an extraordinarily bad driver. I think he's better than Stroll. Right?
I think he's better than most people.
He's almost as good as Yuki, is what I would say.
And he was better than Yuki in most times last year.
In most, he was as good as him sometimes, and Yuki was also there at most times. But it's like they were there. They were at par each other. Yeah. But the Red Bull is just so bad. You can see the skill difference between the drivers.
Correct.
And so we already talked about it so many episodes before. The Red Bull is a car that, and I think even one of the comments you had, we had replied.
I think we had one guy was asking us. Well, we're basically answering a question.
Yeah, but I think Joe answered, and he did a pretty good job of.
Thank you. I was just mimicking his words, but go on.
Yeah. So what he said is basically the car is designed around Max, right? And why that is, it's because he is the guy who took Red Bull after what Vettel did. He brought them into the championship, and they were constructors for a few years. And then next it was Max that was leading the team. And right now what Red Bull is doing is they're just building the car for the driver that's faster, right? And it's not like it's just a setup. Like they can change the way the wing is positioned, or you can change the way the differential is positioned. You can lower the car, make it higher, change the suspension. It's none of those things. Those things are like customizable, right? But there are stuff that's built into the car at the factory, and that can't be changed mid-season or anything. It can be changed mid-season, but you have to wait mid-season.
Correct.
Right. So the car is built in such a way that it's just very, very sharp and sensitive.
Correct.
It's just a very sensitive car to drive. It reacts to every single thing that you do. The steering input, the accelerator, the brake. It's just very sensitive. It's on another level. And it's only something that Max can understand. Right? Because that's his driving style.
Correct.
Alex Albon has said it so many times. And I recommend you guys go watch the interview.
Yeah,
that Alex
good.
Albon has. He's done a wonderful explanation as to why the Red Bull is so hard to drive.
And he was in Red Bull for 1.5 seasons.
Yeah, and he did a pretty good job. But then the car was not as sharp as it is now.
Correct.
And now it's just on another level. And Red Bull has not been able to do a good job with the way the car is performing right now.
They're not behaving like, the recent champions they are. I mean, Max is the only person that I think is consistent the last 5 years in the Red Bull team. I mean, even Christian Horner and Helmut Marko are consistent, but in exactly the wrong time, wrong set of attributes, right? So yeah, I mean, so Max did a wonderful race. He was good. The last overtake that he did on Ferrari, I mean, Leclerc was amazing. I mean, that was I think it was one guy was explaining it a bit. Max was not only like trying to be the faster car, he was trying to be a smarter car. For example, he was not going in immediately. We saw a couple of overtakes by Ollie Behrman, amazing overtakes by Ollie Behrman at the end of the last turn, right? Just before the penultimate turn, which is the Osho. You saw Ollie Behrman just do an amazing late braking technique, and then you do a switcheroo, and then go into it. Max was thinking about doing that. He faked it against Leclerc at the end. Okay, and then Leclerc thought he was coming, so he cut in, defended. But then Max said, "No, I want you to take that line so that you get a bad exit. So when you go to the last corner, I can overtake you." And he did. So he did. He had a very bad exit, Leclerc. He went into the last turn. Okay, and then he could not get the traction that he needed, and Max capitalized on it. And then at turn one, the long right-hander, Max was just like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do the move that no one thought about. And then he did it. So I'm saying Max is the world champion that he is. You know, I mean, I'm exactly. We're not Red Bull fans. We're not Max Verstappen fans. But, you know, we see it as it is. So it's good, amazing race. Norris had an amazing race.
Oh, yeah. He had a brake problem towards the end of the Grand Prix. So what happened was his brake, I think it was more like his rear brakes were not functioning, and his front brakes were, luckily they were functioning, which is why he was able to carry the car to the finish line. But the more he braked, the more his brakes failed.
Oh.
Right. So I think it had something to do with the brake has a certain pressure, right? And after which, it just becomes, it goes to a point where you have to, it just stops. The pressure builds up to a point where you just can't push it anymore.
Correct.
But he had to keep pushing it because there was no brake input.
Okay.
Like the brakes didn't respond. So the brakes failed, and he had to lift before every corner to slow the car down because he didn't have to brake so much.
I think Oscar Piastri at the end was 7 seconds ahead.
He was 7 seconds ahead, and George was 2 seconds behind.
Amazing move by Norris against Russell.
The first lap.
No, not the first lap.
Okay.
The first lap also, we put it up there, the first lap one as well. But I'm not talking about the first lap also. I'm talking about the one that, so they did a one-stopper, right? What happened was that Norris came with the pit exit. Okay, I think he came just after Stroll, and then he was alongside Russell, right? Everyone thought that Stroll was a black market. He was not. He was on he still hasn't changed his tires. He's still on a old mediums, right? So what happened was that, using that as a reference, George Russell took a bit of good exit in turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, and then he overtook Stroll. But then Norris got stuck behind Stroll for a couple of corners, and then Stroll thought, yeah, I'm not gonna stop him, like he can. But another time, because Alonso got kicked out, so it's only Aston Martin who got scored points for the second time in a row.
Again, bad start for Alonso also.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so after that, Norris, even though now we know that he had a brake problem, it's probably because after that, who knows? I mean, we don't know yet. We'll probably know. But the move that he made just after that, right? It was basically at the starting grid, just before turn 1. The guy did like a switchback, and then Russell was saying, okay, he's going to go and come back, and then it was an amazing
really good
We'll put that up.
so actually most of the drivers had a lot of traction on the outside, which is very surprising. Usually you don't have traction on the outside of that turn.
I mean, it is a weird like race, right? Everyone was talking in the sprint race, everyone was saying tire degradation was bad.
It was still.
Yeah, no, it was, but then everyone thought it was going to be a two-stopper. Like
yeah.
And then Russell was like, no, it's going to be one-stopper. He thought he was going to outsmart everyone. Everyone was like, no, we're not on one stop. To a point where Albon, his famous comment, I think the pit wall was asking Albon, do you want to change your tires? He's like, no, I'm very comfortable. I'm
much
very
more
good at
comfortable than everyone else.
everyone else, right? So he thought that he was also going to go on a one-stopper.
But it's like suddenly the tired egg just
Yeah, I think the hard tire, because no one, I think he was saying, right?
Yeah.
No one in practice used
The hard tire.
so they didn't have data on it,
Yeah.
right? So
Because the sprint race is only 100 kilometers, the
Correct.
whole race.
So you
So
can't-
you don't need a hard tire.
correct. I think they did a mid.
They used the medium.
Yeah, losers on medium.
I think the medium and the softs is what they used.
Correct, and I think even in FP1, I don't think they did a.
No.
They didn't do. Hard
They didn't
stuff.
do hards.
So no one was new. No one was trying a two-stopper except Lewis Hamilton again, but he was struggling. Let's not talk about it. Not talking about it.